Ethical decision making. The purpose of having an ethical decision making model is so that you're following the same set of steps when you handle situations. It's an organized, objective decision making process, and it leaves records so that you know that you're protected. It helps you consider all the options, and hopefully that will enable you to make the best decision for all the parties. And by the end of this class, you should be able to apply this model to any other case study that we discuss, including the ones your breakout groups will be discussing later today. Step 1, what happened? Just get the facts, listen to all sides. Don't listen to the first person who brought the issue forward. Listen to everyone who's involved. This might also be something that you deal with as a senior student, as a part-time employee, as a volunteer, as a camp counselor, as a summer job. You might be put into these types of situations, and you don't want to just make a decision too quickly. Get into the habit of listening, gather the information, don't prejudge it, don't write any comments, just get the facts and take notes if you need, either a voice memo or written notes or typed notes, so that you have a solid basis to make your decisions. The next part is, who are the stakeholders and how are they affected? Primary stakeholders have a financial connection to the business, and we give those priority because we are in business. Secondary stakeholders are impacted by what's gone on, but there's no financial relationship. So here's a chart that might show the difference. So, employees, they're paid by the company. Suppliers have long-term relationships, management, customers, shareholders, a bank that's given a loan. They all have a financial interest in the success of the business. But then there's others. For example, the media might cover the company. The community might be impacted. There might be a nearby school that partners with the company that's impacted, but it doesn't have a financial connection, so it does not take priority. So let's say there's some deliveries happening, and they're happening at all hours of the evening, and the delivery trucks are loud. So this creates some unpleasant noise for the neighbors, and they're community members, but they don't have a financial connection. So although you might sympathize with them, you would want to give priority to your suppliers. Likewise, the media might want an interview with someone at the company to respond to a certain issue or something that's been trending online, but you don't want to prioritize the media over the employees of your company, the people who really contribute to the success of the company. So list conflicts of interest. If someone might have to recuse themselves if they have a conflict of interest. So, for example, if you're part of a team investigating some misappropriations in the accounting department, if someone is working for the accounting department or they're dating someone in the accounting department, they have a conflict. They might want to cover it up for their own sake or for their partner's sake. So they should really recuse themselves and not be part of that team. It's not to say that they would cause an issue. So I would say with Team Ontario, if you might coach someone who is trying out for the team, when that person's name is discussed, you should recuse yourself by leaving the room so that no one thinks there's any impropriety, because after all, they might say, hey, that person only made the team because their coach was coaching the provincial team or the national team. So you just want to remove that appearance. Also, you want to identify this because this might be the motivation for how the ethical situation came about in the first place. Someone might personally benefit from something the company did, and this is a key step in terms of uncovering who's responsible. It might be the person who has the motivation. So we want to determine if it's a legal situation. So, you might be working at a camp and there's some kids that are bullying each other and they're calling names. That's not really going to be a legal situation, but if it escalates into an assault, then it becomes a legal situation, something you can't really deal with. In business, there might be something, maybe someone's rude to customers. That's not good. But again, that's totally different than somebody is stealing from the till. So you would escalate it if it's a legal situation. And if you're not sure, you may have been broken, it's not positive, you can still call the police. You don't want to be the person who's found equally culpable because they didn't, properly advise the authorities. There's been some terrible scandals in coaching where one coach was acting inappropriately and no one wanted to speak up, and as a result they were as guilty for covering it up and not escalating it to law enforcement, and they could have saved a lot of grief for future victims had anyone spoken up. So if it's a legal situation, you gotta involve the police. So try to list 3 options, because we don't want to pick the most obvious option. We don't want to think pick the first thing that comes to mind. So put it out there. Think of what you could do. What would be the impact? Well, if we were to it turns out that one supplier has been guilty of environmental damage because their factory pollutes too much. Okay, well, do we want to be a part of that? Well, no, let's terminate our relationship with them. Hold on, they're the only supplier in the immediate area. So maybe, we have to balance this out. Maybe there's a way around this. Maybe we could convince them to change their ways. Maybe we could have a meeting and try to convince them to change. Maybe it's just something we unfortunately have to ignore and keep doing business because it's just not something that we can handle at this moment. We put it all out there and make a decision. And then also use some integrative thinking. Maybe there's a way to take the best parts of option A and option B together and make a new option that you hadn't thought of. So that's why we put it out there and we make a decision. So when you make a decision, you act because it's your own small business, or you're going to recommend how your company should act. And when you're at school and you're making a recommendation, or you're making a recommendation to your superior, explain what that decision is going to look like in the real world. What are the specific steps? And lastly, we want to document our work. So keep a record of your investigation and how you acted. Okay, on February 18th, this person came to speak to me. At this point, I took actions A, B, and C. And I started an investigation, just because you want to be able to protect yourself and show that you acted appropriately. You might have to inform your manager at a certain point, so it might be something that's too big for your department or your position. So you want to be upfront with management. You don't want to be part of a cover-up. The cover-up often becomes much worse than the crime. And also, we don't want to constantly be dealing with ethical situations. So if there's what can we learn from this? Let's try to debrief this situation and prevent it from happening again. Maybe a new policy would prevent this type of relationship, this type of abuse from happening. Maybe a new customer relationship policy might help us, reduce complaints. And a lot of companies will keep an error log of what happened and how they acted, so it doesn't happen again. So what I've found is that students really need a little extra help identifying the stakeholders. Don't just consider the obvious people who might be affected. Think about everyone. I got a personal ethics case here, and I have a business ethics case here. So visit the Jamboard and make notes, and everyone will have an opportunity to edit this, and you can see what other people have written down. So use the green post-it note for primary stakeholders and the yellow post-it note for secondary stakeholders. So it's attached in the Google Classroom. Here's what it looks like right now. So the chair girl, when she threw the chair over the balcony. Who was directly affected by this? Who were all the stakeholders? Write them down and let's see what other people wrote. Loblaws and some of the main grocery stores in Canada were accused of colluding on bread prices to artificially set the price of bread again. List all the people who were affected and in what way, and just take a moment to read through what everyone else has written, and it'll help you understand how many stakeholders there are. Sometimes you feel tempted just to list one or two, but really, if you take your time, there's several people who are affected, and identify how they were affected as well, because that'll help you balance all the competing interests when you make a final decision.